Quarterback Otto Graham fades the pass. He's rushed, hit, and fumbles. Detroit's Lester Bigeman dives on the ball on Cleveland's 12-yard line. Lay number 22 under center. He hands off to Doak Walker, and Walker bangs into the end zone with the first score in the game. This Cleveland team is fired up now, and they open a gaping hole for Harry Jagady, who runs through the Detroit line and into the end zone. Cleveland is stopped cold at the Detroit 35, where Groza ties a playoff game record by attempting his fourth field goal that's good. Groza's third successful field goal of the day gives the Browns a 16-10 lead with 4 minutes and 10 seconds left to play. Lane's going all the way on this one. He has a man open. It's Jimmy Dorn, and he grabs it for a sensational touchdown. With the game deadlocked at 16-all, Doak Walker slams the ball through the uprights to break the tie and put Detroit on top, 17-16. Cleveland quarterback Otto Graham runs into trouble. Graham's pass is intended for Dub Jones. But it's intercepted by Detroit's Karl Kurilovats. Kurilovats races back to the Browns' 6-yard line. The game ends with the Detroit Lions successfully defending their title of world champions of professional football by turning back the Cleveland Browns in a thrilling, hard-fought 17-16 battle.
Signals, and he gives the ball to Dick Horner, number 31. Horner smashes through for the touchdown. Next play, Otto Graham calling signals. Graham moves off from behind the center. Doesn't even fake. He's following Carpenter. Carpenter throws a key block. Graham throws a fine pass. Dub Jones is moving for the ball, catches on the 3, and rambles into the end zone for the tally. And the Browns go out in front for the first time in the ball game, 9-7. The Browns on offense. Graham steps back to pass. But the Rams, Larry Flick roars in from left end. Hits Otto. The ball pops out of his hands. It's picked up by Robustelli. He fumbles, picks it up with a bounce. And Robustelli moves all the way down to the Cleveland goal before he... His Rams team. That's Neal giving the ball again to Towler. And Towler rushes into the end zone for the touchdown. Graham calling signals. The whole crowd standing. The ball is given to Ken Carpenter. He scores! And now the score is 17-16. The play of the year in postgraduate football. Norman Van Brocklin goes back. Arches a long, fine, high, spiraling pass far downfield. Tom Fears makes a great catch on the dead run and goes all the way to score for Los Angeles. A 72-yard touchdown play. The lateral pass out to Ken Carpenter. Carpenter runs to his right and throws a forward pass down to Lavelli, but it's incomplete. And there's the gun, ending the ball game and making the Los Angeles Rams the world champions of 1951. Final score, the Los Angeles Rams 24, Browns 17. So you've seen the making of a new Major League Football champion.
49ers jumped to a 24-7 halftime lead. Rumor had it they already had champagne on ice in their locker room.
And naturally, if I was the head on a team 24-7, I think we'd be celebrating, and I think that's what San Francisco was doing. We heard a little bit of the celebration and then found out later from some of the players that they weren't drinking the champagne, naturally, but they were very confident they were going to be opening the champagne.
Championship tickets already, and I said, well, the game's not even over. I said, that's exactly how they feel about you. You know, let's go out and play a tough second half and see what can happen.
At the start of the second half, McElhenney ran some 70 yards down to the 7-yard line of the Lions, and the 49ers could not score a touchdown. They had to settle for a field goal. That made it 27-7. Still looked like a safe bet, but as it turned out, it wasn't.
I really believe that if I would have went in to score at that time, that would have been the end of the game. I don't think they would have been able to catch up with us.
After their failure to score that touchdown, the 49ers became cautious, and the Lions' defense held them scoreless for the rest of the game.
I don't know why. I think that they would have maintained what they had the first half, continued on the same offensive premise, that we would have been in trouble, but they sort of laid on the lead.
When we stopped them, that first drive and the opening kickoff of the second half, I think that was a turning point of the game when they did not score. If they'd have scored then, no way we could have come back.
All of our defensive backs started getting knocked out of the game. We only had 33 players on the team at that time. So second half, they had put in Tobin Root as the quarterback, and they just scored at will.
Running the ball was another backup, second-year man Tom Tracy. And it was Tracy's 2 touchdowns that hurt the 49ers most in one of the greatest come-from-behind wins in playoff history. The 49ers moved out of Kezar Stadium in 1970, but the echoes of that game linger there to this day.
And that's the ball game. With an unbelievable comeback, Detroit's never-say-die Lions defeat San Francisco 31-27 to capture the Western Conference Championship.
Amici puts down his head and bangs over for the touchdown. Both blockers build a fence around Unitas as he cocks his arm. Berry is loose in the end zone. Touchdown, Baltimore. 4th and 1. The Colts won't settle for a field goal. It's a quick pitch out to Amici. Quick Livingston streaks in to cut him down for a 4-yard loss, and the Giants hold. Connolly gambles and goes for the long play. Kyle Rote, usually a short receiver, is way upfield to take the ball and break away from his defenders. Andy Nelson and Ray Brown land on him like a ton of bricks, and Rote fumbles. Alex Webster races in to pick up the ball and carry to the 1 on an 86-yard play. The Giants are determined to see the other side of that goal line. Mel Triplett blasts into the Colts with all his might. The referee's arms go up, and the Giants have scored their first touchdown. First down, and Connolly comes back to throw for the fired-up Giants. Frank Gifford takes it on the run and manages to stay inbounds as he fights past Milt Davis. Touchdown, Giants! The whole complexion of this game has changed. New York now leads 17-14, and it's the Colts who must come from behind. The Colts don't even huddle. Steve Myra rushes onto the field. The ball is snapped. Myra kicks. It's good! Baltimore ties it up with only 4 or 5 seconds to spare. There's no time for the Giants to retaliate. And this heart-stopping struggle goes into a sudden death overtime period. The first in the history of champions. The Colts are calling on their whole bag of tricks. With 2 men flanked wide, Unitas puts a swing pass to Amici. Unitas and company are not to be stopped. Unitas refuses to let go of the ball until he sees Berry break loose. Then he's right on target as Baltimore moves all the way to the Giants' 43. Unitas comes up with an inspired call. It's a trap, and it provides a huge hole for Alan Amici. The horse gallops through and thunders for 23 yards. Let's watch again the play that made the Colts the world champions of football. The Colts clean everything out of the way, and Amici bounces on the touchdown turf as his delirious fans close in. This was a pitched battle every inch of the way between 2 real championship teams, and it was not until the final seconds that either was able to establish clear...
Quarterback Bob Waterfield on the first play from scrimmage on a very slippery field hoisted a pass to Glenn Davis, the Army All-American. Davis outraced the Browns to ring up a score in the first 25 seconds. And certainly the ease with which the Rams had scored caused more than just a few of the fans to wonder what the final scoreboard would read. But Otto Graham proved that he was not taking a back seat to Waterfield. Otto fired a perfect pass to Dub Jones in the end zone. The Dubber gathered it in, and the Browns' rooters really cut loose with the acclaim that such a performance merited. The driving force that won him acclaim as a great fullback dug his way into the end zone to put the Rams right back into the lead. Then Graham faded back, through to Lavelli. And Dowdy on a Z-in pattern loped into the end zone to put the Browns within 1 point of a tie. Early in the third quarter, Graham, giving one of his great exhibitions, fired another perfect pass to Lavelli. The timing was so perfect that Dowdy crossed in front of the defensive back, took the pass without losing a step, and was in the end zone for a score to put the Browns back in front 20-14. But the Rams bounced right back. Fullback Dick Horner bowled over from the Browns' 1-yard line, and the Rams were back in the lead 21-20. Gillum threw a great block. Motley started around the end, was trapped near the sideline, reversed his field, ran into a host of tacklers, slipped, lost the ball, and the Rams' left end, Larry Brink, scooped it up, gave the Rams a tainted touchdown, but a lead of some 8 points, 28-20. Graham uncorked another dazzling pass, and Rex Bumgardner thrilled the excited crowd to the fever point with a tremendous catch that enabled the Browns to move within 1 point of the Rams to 27. Graham faded back to pass, seeing his receivers covered, tried to pick his way forward, and ran 11 yards before being hauled down on his own 47. Graham still went to the air, lofted another aerial. Dub Jones was there to get it, and the Browns had the ball on the Rams' 22 with 55 seconds remaining in the game. Seconds, precious seconds, kept ticking off. Graham passed to Bumgardner on the Rams' 11. The Browns had a first down, and with 45 seconds remaining, Otto moved the ball over on a sneak in a position for a field goal attempt.
Rosa will attempt a field goal. It'll be 15 yards. He boots the ball. It's up in the air. Score!